The ongoing tensions surrounding Israel's control over the Golan Heights have escalated in recent weeks, drawing sharp responses from Russia, which has long been an ally of the Syrian government. The issue, which has been a source of conflict since the 1967 Six-Day War when Israel captured the Golan Heights from Syria, has resurfaced with renewed intensity, especially following Israel's latest military actions in the region. Recently, Israel's government, under Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, made a series of claims regarding the buffer zone within the Golan Heights, asserting its authority over parts of the area, leading to criticism and confusion from various international actors, particularly Russia. In response to Israel's claims, Russia's ambassador to the United Nations, Vasily Nebenzia, has issued a pointed remark, stating that the Israeli government's statements on the Golan Heights are conflicting and unclear. He highlighted the confusion surrounding which specific parts of the Golan region should be considered officially part of Israel, a claim that has not been universally accepted by the international community. Nebenzia's remarks reflect Moscow's growing concern over Israel's military operations in the Golan Heights, which have not only affected the territorial integrity of Syria but also have implications for broader geopolitical dynamics in the Middle East. The Golan Heights has been a critical strategic area for both Israel and Syria, and its significance extends far beyond military considerations. The territory, which Israel captured from Syria in 1967, was later annexed by Israel in 1981, a move that has never been recognized by the United Nations or most of the international community. For Syria, the return of the Golan Heights is seen as a matter of national pride and territorial integrity. The region is also vital for Israel due to its elevated position, providing the country with crucial military vantage points, as well as vital water resources. The ongoing disputes over the Golan Heights are compounded by the fact that the territory borders not only Syria but also Lebanon, placing it at the crossroads of several regional power struggles. Since the start of the Syrian civil war in 2011, Israel has maintained its military presence in the Golan Heights, citing the need for security against potential threats from Syria and from Iran-backed forces operating in the region. Israel has expressed concerns over the growing presence of Iranian forces in Hezbollah, an Iranian-backed militia group, in southern Syria, near the Golan Heights, viewing these groups as a direct threat to its borders. This has led to periodic Israeli airstrikes on Syrian targets, including military infrastructure and weapons caches, which Israel claims are used by Iranian forces and their allies. Israel's recent military actions in the Golan Heights, including the capture of the buffer zone, have raised alarms, particularly in Russia. Moscow, which has been heavily involved in the Syrian conflict since 2015, providing military support to President Bashar al-Assad's regime, has consistently emphasized Syria's sovereignty and territorial integrity. Russia has repeatedly called on Israel to respect Syria's territorial claims and has warned against any further incursions into the Golan Heights. The Russian government's stance is particularly significant because it underscores the geopolitical divide between Moscow and Tel Aviv, as well as Russia's broader strategy in the Middle East, where it has cultivated strong ties with Syria, Iran, and other regional players. The Russian Foreign Ministry's statements on Israel's actions reflect Moscow's frustration with the situation. Russian officials have repeatedly called for diplomatic solutions to the ongoing disputes in Syria, and Moscow has pushed for dialogue between Israel and Syria regarding the future of the Golan Heights. However, Israel's actions in the region are seen by the Kremlin as exacerbating instability and undermining efforts to find a lasting resolution to the conflict. Russia's stance is also informed by its desire to maintain good relations with Syria, which remains a key ally in the Middle East. Syrian President Bashar al-Assad has repeatedly called for the return of the Golan Heights, and Russia has voiced support for Syria's territorial claims. While Israel's actions are framed as a defensive measure in response to security threats, the international community remains divided on the issue. The United States, under the Trump administration, recognized Israel's sovereignty over the Golan Heights in 2019, a move that was met with significant opposition from other countries, including Russia, as well as from Syria and other Arab nations. The United Nations, however, continues to view the Golan Heights as occupied Syrian territory, and the Security Council has called on Israel to withdraw from the region. The United Nations stance reflects the broader international consensus that territorial annexation by force is illegal under international law, a principle that remains central to global diplomacy on issues like the Golan Heights. The recent escalation of tensions in the Golan Heights comes at a time of heightened instability in the broader Middle East. The Syrian civil war has resulted in significant shifts in regional power dynamics, with Iran and Russia backing the Assad regime, while the United States and various Western allies have supported opposition forces. The war has also led to the proliferation of militias and armed groups, further complicating the security situation in Syria. Israel, which has long been wary of Iranian influence in Syria, has consistently maintained that it will take whatever military action is necessary to ensure its security, particularly in the Golan Heights. However, as Russia's ambassador to the UN, Vasily Nebenzia, pointed out, the conflicting statements from Israel raise serious questions about the future of the Golan Heights. With Israel asserting its control over more areas of the Golan region, and Syria's calls for the return of the territory continuing, the diplomatic deadlock over the Golan Heights remains as unresolved as ever. The situation is further complicated by the broader geopolitical struggle between Russia and the West, with each side backing different factions in the Syrian conflict and beyond. The implications of Israel's continued military presence and territorial claims in the Golan Heights are profound. While Israel sees its actions as necessary to secure its northern borders, Russia and other members of the international community view these actions as a violation of Syria's sovereignty. With tensions rising between Israel and Syria, as well as between Israel and Russia, the Golan Heights remains one of the most contentious and strategically important areas in the Middle East. As Israel continues to bolster its military position in the region, the possibility of further confrontation with Syria and its allies, including Russia, becomes increasingly likely. The situation in the Golan Heights is emblematic of the broader struggles for power, territorial control, and regional influence that continue to shape the Middle East. The international community will need to carefully navigate these tensions, balancing the competing interests of Israel, Syria, Russia, and other regional actors, in order to avoid further escalation and to find a pathway to peace in this highly volatile region.